Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. So when you look in the book of Exodus, chapter 3, this is after so many years that Moses was on the run, hiding in Midian, just to save his life. Finally, the time has come when God's going to officially appoint him and send him on this fateful mission of taking the Jews out of Egypt. Not only that, but of course, as we know, to transform the world, to bring the entire universe to its full purpose, the purpose why it was created, and that is by God revealing himself on Mount Sinai and transmitting the Torah through Moses. Moses is the ultimate leader. Leadership in any whatsoever way, and all aspects of it could be learned from Moses just by studying the Torah. And the most telling part about his leadership, in other words, what really is the true criteria of a leader, is described right here. In verse 1 of chapter 3, it says that Moses was shepherding the sheep of his father-in-law Yithro, and he drove the flock into the wilderness. And he came to Horeb, and that's when Hashem had revealed himself to him. That's when God revealed himself to Moses in the burning bush. Why is it important for us to know that he was a shepherd? Why is it crucial to know that he took him to the wilderness, that he shepherded them? The Midrash, which is the story behind the story, tells us that the two of the greatest leaders, that is Moses, and David, King David, who incidentally is also the father of Mashiach, which will bring the world to its complete status. In other words, Moshe is the beginning of the process, and the completion of it, the culmination of it, will come as a result of David, his descendant, the King Mashiach. Both of them, these quintessential leaders, the ultimate superb in leadership, they were both, quote, tested, proven to be fit for the job by means of sheep, of shepherding the sheep. By both of them, we find that God chose them via their excellence in shepherding the sheep. Moses took the sheep out to the wilderness. The Midrash tells us that he didn't just take them out and leave them there, but in fact, he had a whole method of how he had the sheep graze. First, he would take out the younger ones, the ones who didn't have strong jaws, weaker teeth, and they would eat the first layer, the soft grass. Then he would let the older ones out, the ones who were more experienced, who had the strength to chew the harder grass, the roots. Once he noticed that one of the little kids ran off, so he ran after it. And he ran, and finally they came to a little oasis. And there the sheep licked up, this little kid licked up all the water. And he said, "Oh, I didn't know that you were so thirsty. I didn't realize that this was the problem. I should have noticed." And he picked up this lamb, he carried it on his shoulder all the way back to the rest of the herd. When God saw this, this is when the appearance in the burning bush took place. God said, if you know how to take care of living sheep, animals, and show such dedication, exhibit such care, then obviously you are fit to shepherd my children. Thus, even in the Zohar and the Kabbalah, Moshe is called the faithful shepherd. King David is the same thing. King David also, we find, it says that, quote, God found him while he was shepherding the sheep. Because again, he showed care, he showed dedication. Besides the dedication and care that he showed to the sheep, also King David, and likewise Moses, made it a point to go out to the wilderness, even though it involved extra effort, extra exertion, but they didn't want to steal from anyone's private land. They didn't want to allow the sheep to graze on private property. So they showed their integrity. They exhibited their care for another living being. How much more so for another human being, for God's people. This is an important lesson, because typically when we think of leadership, we think of strong, stern, harsh people. And yes, they need strength. And at times, maybe they need to be stern. But what is the true quality that is a prerequisite to be a true, real, godly leader? That is to be benevolent, to be caring, to look out for another, to care about what the other creature of God feels like, especially if it's a human being.